Shalom, Facebook world.
Shalom, Israel.
We out here, man. I'm start off by my name. I go by Ephraim Yasharala.
And I'm Yakanam Maccabees Yasharala.
And today we're going to go and to prove that salvation is for the children of Israel and the children of Israel only. Now, you know, a lot of pastors telling us that with the New Testament, the Gentiles are going to be grafted in. But we're going to jump through these precepts and show that the Most High is only here for Israel and Israel only. Now, of course, we're always going to start off with John, chapter 8, verse 32.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And we out here pretty much every Wednesday bringing y'all the truth, because our lying pastors ain't going to do it. Pastor Pork Chop going to sit there and tell you what he got to tell you to make sure you come back every Sunday and bring in your tithe. And through these precepts today, we're going to show you that the kingdom is only for Israel. Okay? So from there, we're going to jump to Isaiah 28 and 10. Okay.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10.
Read.
For precept must be For precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little and there a little.
And the reason why I bring that out, because to get the true understanding of the Bible, you're going to have to read that precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, because you're going to find some scriptures in Genesis. It's going to match up with Revelations. You're going to find some things in John. It's going to match up with Mark. It's going to put everything together to give you a true understanding of the Bible. So from there, we're going to jump up to Isaiah 28 and 9.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Now, see, we got a lot of pastors out here that are from different nations, you know what I'm saying? And it's saying right there in that verse, the ones who are going to have the knowledge are going to be the ones who are weaned from the breast and drawn from the milk, meaning the ones who are from Israel, born and raised from the bloodline, not from Israel, of course, but from the bloodline. They're going to be the ones who are going to have the true understanding and the true knowledge of this Bible. Because again, our pastors are only going to bring us what they want us to hear, so you come back every weekend and give your tithes. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these pastors, they're only out here for this money. Now, from there, we're going to jump to Second Esdras, and we're going to start at chapter 3, and we're going to go down to verse 36.
The book of Second Esdras, chapter 3, verse 36.
Right.
Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Now, the reason why, going back to the other verse when it was talking about weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, then the children of Israel, the ones who are meant for this understanding, they're going to want to keep the precepts to give you the true understanding of the Bible. Now, the heathens, the oppressors, the ones that have taught us this Bible and have taught us religion, and you will not find religion in this Bible. The ones who have taught us religion are the ones who are teaching us what this Bible says. And if we're not reading this Bible precept upon precept, it's very easy to get a misunderstanding of what this Bible is saying. So read that again right there.
Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
So that's showing that Israel, we keep the precepts. We keep the precepts to give the understanding, and the heathen doesn't. This is why you cannot get your information from these other nations. You have to come home. You have to come to your people and get this knowledge, because our oppressors and the people that want to keep us in captivity are not going to give us the right information that we need. So from there, we're going to jump to Psalms, and that's 119, Salakia, verse 100. Now, we're bringing out a lot of verses about precepts, because the thing is, when you go to church, they're not giving you precept upon precept. These churches are giving you 2 verses,
and a song and dance.
Yeah, testimony, a song and dance, and then you're going home thinking that Pastor Pork Chop taught a good sermon. But at the end of the day, you're not learning anything. So we're going to use these precepts to give you a real understanding of who salvation is for and who are God's chosen people. All right, so go ahead. Yeah, so it's verse Psalms 119, verse 100.
The book of Psalms, verse 119. Verse 100. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts.
Now even King David is saying, he's saying, I understand more than my ancients because I keep these precepts. So through these precepts, you're going to have the true understanding of what this Bible is saying. So even King David's there, he's saying, even if you're in this Bible 6 months, 7 months, If you keep these precepts, you're going to know more than somebody who's been in this Bible 100 years. Somebody who, one of your pastors been in the Bible for 20 years. You're going to understand more than he is because you're keeping these precepts. Now, from there, you're going to jump down to, keep staying 119 and go down to verse 4.
The book of Psalms 119, verse 4. Verse 4.
Read.
Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently.
Who else?
Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently.
See, God has commanded us to keep these precepts. Again, going back to these pastors, they're not keeping these precepts, but this is a commandment from the Most High. The Most High said, keep these commandments. Keep them diligently, because these are what's going to give you the understanding of the Bible. So, from there, you already, go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way.
So saying right there, he's saying through the precepts, that's how you gain understanding. So when you living falsely, when you're sitting there eating pork and you're sitting there and you're listening to these pastors when they're telling you that the Sabbath is done away with, that you know how long I have to follow these laws. Now the Most High is saying through these precepts, you are going to get understanding. So he hates your false ways. So anything after that, if you're still living false, you're still out here eating pork, you're still out here not keeping the Sabbath, you're still out here not keeping these feast days, he's saying, I hate your false ways, because through these precepts, that's how you're going to get understanding. Now, from there, let's go. Now we're going to get into the children of Israel and who the Most High deals with. So from there, we're going to go to Psalms 147, and we're going to go from 19 to 20.
The book of Psalms 147, verses 19 and 20. He showeth his words unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Hold that. So when he says he sold his judgments and statutes onto Jacob. Now Jacob, eventually his name turned to Israel. Now he had 12 sons, and his 12 sons are the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's what it's talking about when it says Jacob. So read that part again.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Right.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
So you
and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Oh yeah, keep that right there. So you hear that? He said he has not dealt with any other nations. Now a lot of pastors are going to tell you in the New Testament he deals with other people, but he's saying right there he has not dealt with any other nation. His judgment, his statutes, his promises, his covenants has only been with the children of Israel. You so-called black, Latinos, and Native American, he's only dealt with y'all. So read that last part again. Number 20.
He have not dealt so with any other nations, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So again, it's sitting right there. He said he has not dealt with any other nation. So we're going to get more into that right there. So go to Joel 2:27. So even right there in that verse, it's saying he has not dealt with any other nation. So these judgments, these statutes, these promises, these covenants is only with the children of Israel. So we'll go another precept to prove that he only deals with the children of Israel and not these other nations. Now again, with these precepts, that's the only way you're going to get this understanding. And this is what we hear. We hear live in effect, always trying to give you the true deal and the true information from this Bible, because our pastors and our leaders are not going to do that for us. So go ahead, read that.
The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
In the midst of everybody.
I am in the midst of Israel.
Now I deal with the other nations.
I am in the midst of Israel. And that I am the Lord, your God.
Who's God?
Your God.
Everybody's God.
Your God.
Come on, man.
And that I am in the midst of Israel, and I am the Lord, your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed.
So it's telling you right there, he said, I'm in the midst of Israel, and I am your God. Now that is a possessive. That's being possessive. He said, I am in the midst of Israel, and I am your God, and y'all should not be ashamed. So to represent the Most High God, man, that should be something that you want to do like a badge of honor. That's why we rock these beards like a badge of honor. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you should want to praise and show off, because the Most High is only dealing with you, so-called black, Native Americans, and Latino. You got to understand that the God's here for you. The Most High is here for you. Now, to prove some more, let's go to Matthew and the New Testament, because a lot of pastors gonna tell you that the Old Testament is done away with, and that you don't deal with the Old Testament anymore. So in the New Testament, we're gonna show you that he's still dealing with the same people. He's not changing throughout this book. So go ahead, read Matt 18:11.
The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 11. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost.
So I'm gonna stop right there, right? So it says he has came to save the ones who are lost. Who are the most lost people? I hate to say it, but it's our people. Our so-called black, you so-called Native American, you so-called Latino. We're the most lost people out here. So the Most High said he is here to save those who are lost. Now jump to Matthew 15:24. This is going to bring it together, because again, remember what he said. He said he came to save those who are lost. Who are the ones who are lost?
The book of Matthew, verse 15.
Verse 20, 15, verse 24.
Verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Again, he said he is here to save the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Again, he's dealing only with the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Again, and this is in the New Testament. This is him talking. This is why you have to use these precepts so you can get the true understanding of who he's dealing with and who he's always going to deal with. Throughout this whole Bible, it does not change. He does not deal with anybody else. So, matter of fact, from there, we're going to get to see how he deals with the other nations. Go to Isaiah 40, and we'll go to verse 15. And this is going to show you here. We're going to throw you through. We're going to show you through some precepts, Salakia, that how he feels about the other nations and the other people that live in this earth. So go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
Yeah, they said the other nations, they're like a drop out of a bucket. So when you're carrying a pail of water and a drop falls out, are you going to care about that drop? Nah, it's nothing. It's a small thing that matters to you. So we're showing you right here with the other nation. That's what he feels like about the other nation. The other nation are that small drop that fall out. Jump down to verse 17. So it says they are like that small drop of water that falls out the bucket. Now we're going to get more into that. Go ahead, get verse 17.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity.
It says all nations. Read that again.
All nations before him are as nothing.
No, some nations.
All nations before him are as nothing.
No, but I thought God loved everybody.
All nations before him are nothing. And
all
are
nations.
counted as nothing and vanity.
You hear that? He said all nations before him are counted as nothing.
And are counted to him as less than nothing and vanity.
So it's showing you right there, it's showing you right there that with the other nations that he's dealing with, they're nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? So through these precepts, like we said, we're going to get understanding. We're going to get understanding of who he's dealing with. So now we're going to go into the Apocrypha, and we're going to go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse, I think it's 54. And we're going to get more into it.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 54.
Read.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
All right, hold that right there. So it's saying right there, so out of all nations, we all came from Adam, but he's saying through everybody that came through Adam. Go ahead, read.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also, whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world of our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam.
So you hear that right there? He said from the other people, meaning the other nation that also came from Adam. Go ahead.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
But I thought God loved everybody.
But be like unto spittle.
So he's saying, out of all nations that came from Adam, they're like spittle. You know when that little dribble come out your mouth? You get a little dribble off your lip. He's saying they're nothing. They're like that little spittle that comes out your mouth. So,
and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
So again, he's proving you through scripture. We're showing you that the Most High is only dealing with one nation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of your pastors try to use the New Testament and say that the Gentiles are going to be grafted in, but we're proving that is false. That's a lie. The only Gentiles that he deals with are the ones who are Israel, who was in captivity and took on the ways of the Gentiles. So they ended up being called by the names of the nations that they were captive by. So actually, we're gonna get to some verses. Oh, matter of fact, go through Hebrews. Go to Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8, because this is gonna sum it all up to prove to you. Again, like I was just how I was saying, these pastors try to say the New Testament is when the Gentiles come in. But remember,
or the Old Testament is done away with.
Or the Old Testament is done away with. Now, think about this. The Old Testament and the New Testament, he's talking about the children of Israel. But let's see how Jesus feels. Let's see if he's going to graft the Gentiles in.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 8. Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever.
He said, I'm the same yesterday, I'm the same today, I'm the same forever. Meaning he's not going to change his mind. These pastors made his Most High and Christ seem like he's schizophrenic. Like he's just going to be changing his mind all the time. Nah, he came here for one people, for one nation, and that's who he's staying with. That's who he's rocking with. You know what I'm saying? So it says, Jesus, go ahead.
Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and forever.
Yesterday, today, forever. Meaning he's not dealing with nobody else but the children of Israel. So you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you need to wake up, because the Most High is only dealing with you. He's only dealing with you. So we're gonna get to some verses that that the pastors use to try to justify how he's gonna be dealing with the Gentiles and the heathens from the other nations. So from there, we're gonna jump to Galatians 3 and verse 28. So again, the thing that a lot of our pastors do, they isolate scriptures. They isolate scriptures, tell you what you want to hear, keep you coming every weekend and giving your tithes, but they're not giving you a true understanding. When's the last time you went to church and actually got an understanding of the Bible? When have they went to church and actually broke down the Bible for you and gave you a true understanding when you actually came out knowing what the Word of God said? When have you ever seen a pastor use precepts? We have given you more precepts today that your pastor probably gave you in the last month. You know what I'm saying? So through these precepts, again, it says this is how we get understanding. This is how we understand who the Bible is dealing with and who the Most High is dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because when that sky crack and Christ come back, Yahweh Shai come back, he's not going to be dealing with the other nation. Not everybody's getting saved. So actually, you got Galatians?
Yeah.
So Galatians 3, verse 28.
The book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 28. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There are neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For ye all are one in Christ Jesus.
See, so our pastors use these verses right here to try to say that no matter if you're Greek or you're Jew, we're all one in Christ. So if that was the case, why did he say Gentiles in that verse? Why did he not say everybody in that verse? He said Jews nor Greeks. Now, to get understanding, not only do you need precepts, but you got to understand the history of what happened to the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So, matter of fact, jump up to verse 6 so we can actually get a true understanding of what this verse is saying, because we're not out here to isolate. We're out here to give our people knowledge so we can get out the condition that we're in today. So go ahead, read.
The book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 6. Even as Abraham believed God, and it was counted to him for righteous. Know ye therefore that ye which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham.
The children of who?
The children of Abraham.
Come on, man.
And the scripture foreseeing that God would justify the heathen through faith preached before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in these shall all nations be blessed.
See, so it's showing you right there, even with this verse, in the same chapter, it's talking about the people of Abraham, the ones who through Abraham's bloodline. So obviously that Jew through Greek must have something to do with the captivity. And see, our people are being lost because they were books, the Apocrypha that we use, let me grab that real quick. The Apocrypha that we use, 1611, that was in the first Bible, was translated from King James, that was taken out by the Protestants to keep the children of Israel from knowing who they are. When you use this, you get the whole Greek captivity and understand that when he's talking about Jew nor Greek, he's talking about the children of Israel who took on the customs and the traditions of the Greeks when they were in captivity. But we're going to get to that in a second. I need you to jump to the Colossians 3, verse 11. So again, through these precepts, we're going to give you our understanding. We're not going to give you no false ways. We're going to show you through these precepts of who the Most High dealing with. And like I said, that Apocrypha, man, you got to do your history on that. These books were in the original translation. The King James Bible, 1611, is the most accurate translation to get that was translated from the Hebrew and the Greek into English. You know what I'm saying? And once you start messing with them NIV Bible and ESVs and the Jehovah Wickedness Bible, man, you start getting lost, man, because a lot of them verses are taken out. Like even the Matthew 18:11. If you go check in the NIV Bible as well as the Jehovah Wickedness Bible, that verse is taken out. You know what I'm saying? This is why you got to understand what you're dealing with and the Bible says, study and show yourself approved. So if you're not studying and showing yourself approved and digging into this and finding out this history and just listen to Pastor Porkchop, you're going to be lost in this Bible.
Yep, and you're going to learn this Bible by the precept of man.
Yep, and by the precept of the heathen.
You need to learn it by the precept of this Bible. Line upon line, here a little and there a little.
And that's the only way you're going to get true understanding. That's what we're out here for. We're out here for Wisdom Wednesday, man. We're out here trying to give our people this wisdom. Because, again, like the Bible says, our people have been destroyed from the lack of knowledge. And if you don't got that knowledge, man, you're going to be lost in this and following these the precepts of men and being lost in this book. And when that sky crack, Christ ain't going to say, oh, I'm sorry, he gave you the wrong information. Nah, because you didn't search and show yourself approved. He coming for your head. So go to Colossians, that's chapter 3, verse 11.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 11.
Read.
Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision or non-circumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all.
You see this verse right here? There's another Bible, another verse, Slakia, that Pastor Porkchop's going to pull out to try to show you that the Most High is dealing with everybody. So it's saying again, no Jew nor Greek, nor bond nor free, the circumcision. Now, what does it mean by the circumcision? You know what I'm saying? Why is that not in the Bible? Why are you not getting the true understanding of what the circumcision is talking about? Because it's in the Apocrypha. Without the Apocrypha, you're going to be lost. Let's get that. Get that Maccabees. I think it's 2nd Maccabees, chapter 6.
1st Maccabees, I believe.
Chapter 6 and jump to verse 6. But yeah, see here we're gonna get the true understanding, because remember it says Jew nor Greek. Now we're gonna show you through the Greek captivity of who he's talking about when he says Jew nor Greek. Because remember, when you take on the tradition and the custom of another nation, you end up becoming them. Just like the same way a lot of us aren't American, but when we move to America and we start taking on the customs and the traditions of America, we become Americans. So it's the same thing that happened back then. I think it's 2nd Maccabees.
Yeah, it is 2nd Maccabees.
But yeah, so it's the same way that happened with the children of Israel. They got put in Greek captivity. They took on the customs and the traditions. They were forced to take on these customs. So therefore, they were no longer called. Longer called Jews or Israel. They were called Greeks. Matter of fact, when you're done with that, pull up that definition of Gentiles from the Bible, the biblical definition of the Gentiles.
The book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 6.
Yep. Read.
Let me start at 5.
Go ahead.
The altar also was filled with profane things which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So hold that right there. So it's only right there. They were no longer able to keep. That's why we're in the same customs now. We're no longer to keep the Sabbath. We're not allowed to keep the feast day. And when they were in Greek captivity, they weren't even allowed to call themselves Jews. So what would have to happen after that? They'd call themselves Greeks or Grecians. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's saying nor Jew nor Greek. He's talking about the children of Israel. He's still dealing with the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? This is why you got to do these precepts. You got to do the study to find out who they're talking about in this book. You know what I'm saying? Because again, Pastor Porkchop gonna sit there and tell you that that Most High dealing with everybody, that God loves everybody. We about to deal with another verse too that Pastor Porkchop to pull out. You know what I'm saying? Because we here to kill all that noise from the beginning to the end. he's dealing with the children of Israel. Just read the first half. You don't got to read the whole thing. Now go ahead. We're going to get the definition of Gentiles. Remember, they said the Gentiles are going to be grafted in. This is from the biblical definition of Gentile. If you don't got a Bible dictionary, get you one. Go ahead, read.
The definition of Gentile from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Usually it means a non-Israelite people. The key word is usually.
Right.
So in other words, there were Israelites, primarily the northern kingdom of Israel, led by Ephraim, that were also called the lost sheep because we were scattered abroad.
So that's showing you right there that the word Gentile is usually pertaining to the other nations, but sometimes it deals with the children of Israel because we took on the traditions and the customs of the Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? These are the things your pastor ain't bringing out. These are the things he's not bringing out. You know what I'm saying? This is why the Bible says study and show yourself approved. Because he's not dealing with the other nations. He's only dealing with you so-called blacks, natives, and Americans, and Latinos. You know what I'm saying?
The 10 tribes of the house of Israel was cast off from being his people because of idolatry and sin, and became known as Gentiles in the New Testament, being grafted back in the fold with Judah.
Here we go right there. Now see, now let me explain this to you because some people don't. Now, when we came in captivity, the northern tribes, Ephraim, along with the other 10 tribes, they took the customs and the traditions, and the Most High had cut them off. So when it's talking about grafted back in, he's talking about the northern tribe being grafted back in because we lost our ways. This is why Christ died, because Ephesians 2:26, it shows he died to bring the two into one. You want to grab that real quick?
Yeah, I'm grabbing that.
Grab Ephesians 2:26.
I was grabbing the Ezekiel verse.
Oh, all right. So that's when Christ came back. He didn't die to give everybody salvation. He died to give us a chance to repent and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, because at a point a northern tribe was lost, and the northern tribe had no chance to come back when we were cut off. So that's what Christ is really dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And he took away the sacrificial law. So this is why you got to study this Bible and stop listening to Pastor Pork Chop, because he gonna lead you to destruction. Go ahead. Oh, you pulling out the Ezekiel?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And this is just to prove that in the Old Testament, it was prophesied that they was going to be grafted back in too as well. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 19. Say unto them, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and I will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and them shall be one in mine hand. From the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before thine eyes. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all.
All right, you go right there. No?
And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
Now you see that. See how we were split in two. The northern and southern tribe was split. Now, chilling. Now you see the northern and southern tribe was split into two. So this right here is proving that he's gonna graft us back into be one stick, one tribe. You know what I'm saying? He's not dealing with these other nations. Now go to Ephesians 2:26, matter of fact.
Yes, sir.
Ephesians 2:26 is gonna show even more. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that Pastor Pork Chop ain't bringing out. You know what I'm saying? He there just dealing with you, trying to get your tithing off. We ain't out here to get that money, man. We out here to get our people out the condition that we're in today. You know what I'm saying? So through that, Ezekiel right there is showing that he's gonna take the children of Israel, the two sticks. Remember, we were cutting the two because we were cut off. He's gonna take them and graft them back into one. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand. You gotta study this to show who he's dealing with. He's not dealing with these other nations, man. And that's what we came here to kill this noise today. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Ephesians 2:26. Is that what it is?
No.
Oh, maybe it's 5:26. But yeah, I mean, we here to kill that noise, because again, the Most High, he's not dealing with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I think it's 5:26. No, if not, then we'll just scratch that. Oh no. Fuck it. All right. So scratch that. Matter of fact, we'll get more into that. But we're gonna use another verse that Pastor Porkchop like to use to say that the Most High deals with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So from there, we're gonna go to John 3:16. Oh man, the
everybody's favorite verse.
Everybody knows this verse, John 3:16.
Because in John 3:16, it is the greatest verse and the greatest text in the Bible. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have an everlasting life. Look at it for a moment. God is a great giver. God is the greatest lover, God. The greatest degree, so love. The greatest company, the world. The greatest act that he gave. The greatest gift, his only begotten Son. The greatest opportunity, whosoever. The greatest simplicity, believe it.
We're going to deal with this verse. We're about to cut this thing up. This is why you got to know precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, because this is a famous verse right here. Every pastor will run to this verse. Everybody know this verse, but nobody know two verses before it, and nobody know what John 3:16 really means. So let's deal with this verse right here, man. So go ahead, read it for the world.
The book of John, verse 3, verse 16.
Right.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
Ooh, God so loved the world. Pastor Porkchop loved this verse. God so loved the world. So let's deal with this verse, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So now, first of all, when you get to the definition of the world actually has 14 different definitions. So how do you know when he's speaking about the world, he's pertaining to just the whole world? You know what I'm saying? How would you know that? Now, the only way we're going to figure this out is we're going to go precept upon precept. So from there, let's go to Hebrews 11:3. Go to Hebrews 11:3. So now, through these precepts, we're going to get understanding of John 3:16 to know he's not talking about everybody. He's here for children of Israel. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Most High is here for you. And we're trying to wake our people up, because again, we're trying to get out the conditions that we're in today. And following, coming back to the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments is the only way we're going to get out of conditions. So go ahead, read that. Hebrews 11, verse 3.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed.
The what?
The worlds.
The what?
The worlds.
The what?
The worlds.
Oh, that's plural. So he said through faith and understanding, he understood that he framed the worlds.
Were framed by the word of God. So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
So first of all, that verse right there is showing that the Most High framed more than one world. We got nature's world, we got the animal world, we got the human world,
we got Disney World,
we got Disney, we got
wide
Disney
world of sports.
So that right there is showing you that he's dealing with more than one world. You know what I'm saying? So when he's talking about world in 3:16, let's get more to what he's talking about. Jump to John 3 verse 1. So this is in the same book. We're just gonna start from the beginning of the chapter. Let's get this right here.
There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews.
Well, stop right there. So the Nicodemus, he's a ruler of the Jews. So when he's talking to the ruler of the Jews, talking about the world, I mean, 2 and 2, who would he be talking about? If I'm sitting there talking to my mom and I'm saying, yo, this family's my world, am I talking about every family that's out there? No, I'm pertaining to my family. Go ahead, read.
The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles that thou dost except God be with him.
So when he's talking about God so loved the world, he's talking to somebody who's ruler of the Jews. So when he's saying God so loved the world, he's talking about the kingdom of Israel. So we're going to get more precepts to get an understanding of this verse. So go to John 17 verse 9. We're about to cut this up right here because we sick of Pastor Porkchop bringing these verses out. Go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world.
I pray for who?
I pray for them. I pray not for the world.
But I thought God loved everybody.
I pray for them. I pray not for the world.
Hold that. He said, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. But I thought God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten Son to give everybody everybody's salvation. So why in that same chapter, in the same book of John, he's saying, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read.
But for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them.
Now, who was Christ given to? Christ was given to the children of Israel. So it's saying right there, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. I pray for those who are giving to me. Now, Jesus was given, Yahweh Shah was given to the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? He was given to the world. Now, from there, let's jump to, matter of fact, read John 3:16 one more time.
You want to start 14?
Huh?
14?
Not yet. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Read John 3:16 one more time, and then I want you to jump to Isaiah 45 and 17. Okay. So we're gonna deal with this world thing, man, because again, Pastor Pork Chop love to pull these little isolated verses out, but he never gives you the understanding of who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So John 3:16 again. Because again, remember, through these precepts is the only way we're going to get this understanding of this Bible. So go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
So there goes that famous word, world. Go ahead. Jump to Isaiah 45 and 17 and see what world he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? We out here again to show you who the Most High and who Christ is coming to deal with. He's not dealing with the other nations. You so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are special people, and you need to wake up and understand that you're special people to the Most High God. You know what I'm saying?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
So what did he say? He said, say that one more time. Read that verse one more time.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
So it's saying right there, the children of Israel is going to be people who are saved in the world. Again, with these precepts is the only way we're going to get this understanding. So he said you're going to be an everlasting world without end. John 3:16 says that that Christ loves, the Most High loves his people so much that he sent Christ to die for the world. So he's talking about the children of Israel. That is his world. Now, when my kid is sitting there with a bunch of kids around him, and I point to my kid and say, "That's my world," I'm not talking about every other kid. He's not talking about every other nation. He's talking about the world of Israel. Those are his people. Now, matter of fact, everybody knows John 3:16. Now we're gonna get to now let's go 2 verses up to break this down even more. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to cut this verse up because, again, Pastor Pork Chop loved to come to this verse to say that the Most High is here dealing with the whole world. But he's not. From the beginning to the end of this Bible, he's dealing with the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? He's not dealing with no other nation. Not one time in his Bible does he say that he's here for the other nation.
Or that he made a covenant.
Or he made a covenant.
With the other nations.
All these covenants, you read that in Jeremiah 31:31, in Hebrews 8 and 10, well, I think it's also in Hebrews 10. Every covenant that he makes is with the children of Israel. There's no Gentiles involved. It's Judah and Israel. The southern and the northern kingdom. That's the only people he's dealing with.
Or if he came to save the Gentiles, how come in Revelation 21 and 12, how come there's no gate for the Gentiles?
Well, we're going to get that, matter of fact. I'm glad you brought that up. Go ahead. Give me John 3:14.
And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
Right.
That whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son.
So now we're bringing this all together. Now he said from Moses who had lifted the serpent up in the wilderness. Who did Moses lift the serpent up in the wilderness? Let's get that. Let's go all the way back to Numbers. We'll go to Numbers 21, verse 6 and 9. So pastors, like I said, they like to isolate scriptures. So they use John 3:16, but why don't they use John 3:14? Why? Who was he dealing with? Who was he dealing when he listened to the serpent in the wilderness? Go ahead.
The book of Numbers, chapter 21, verse 6 through 9. And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel did die. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, that he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived.
So, who was the only people with Moses in the wilderness when he lifted up the serpent? The children of Israel. So when he's talking about, when we read John 3:16, you have to go 2 verses up. You have to read the whole chapter to get the context of the scripture. You can't just isolate one scripture. So now people think when Pastor Porkchop bring out God so loved the world that he gave it on, he's not talking about the whole world. He's talking about the children of Israel. He's talking about you so-called black Latinos and Native Americans. He's talking about you. He's only dealing with us from the beginning of the Bible to the end of the Bible. This is our history right here. You know what I'm saying? Our oppressor took this Bible and made it religion and oppressed our people. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you can't listen to the heathen. You have to come to your own people to get the understanding of this Bible. Matter of fact, get that Revelation 21:12. So if the Most High and Christ is here to deal with everybody, he's here for everybody, right? So why is there no gate for the Gentiles or the other nations? You know what I'm saying? This is what we're here for. We're here to break this Bible down, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Because that's the only way you're going to get this understanding. Now, there's no way your pastor can use John 3:16. There's no way your pastor can use Galatians 3:28. There's no way your pastor can use Salaki. Your pastor can use Colossians 3:11. Because we done proved every which way that these are not pertaining to any other nation but the children of Israel.
If you try to use it again, ask him where the precept's at.
So go ahead, get that Revelation 21:12.
Revelations chapter 20, verse 12.
Read.
And had a wall great and high. It had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
No, but there's a gate for the Gentiles.
The 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
No, but there's a gate for the other nations, right?
The 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So it's proving you right there. He said that the names of the children of Israel are written on the gates of the kingdom. No other nations, no Gentiles, none of that. So you need to come up out that church. Come up out that church, man. They feeding you lies. They're not giving you a true understanding of what the Bible is talking about. And you're only going to get a true understanding through these precepts, man. You need to get away from Pastor Porkchop, because again, if he was dealing with the other nations, where's the Gentiles' gate? Where's the other nations' gate? Why are they not mentioned in the verse 21? I mean, verse 12 in Revelation 21. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Matter of fact, and that's the thing. Don't get too crazy. I'm not saying that the other nations are not going to make it. They're going to make it. You're going to get in the kingdom. It's just not going to be how you like it. Get that in Isaiah, what's that, 14, 1 and 2? Y'all keep these commandments. You're going to make it to the kingdom. But it's not going to be how you like it. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be equal to the children of Israel. You're not gonna be equal to the priests. You're not gonna be equal to the ones who come from the Shem. You're not gonna be equal to the bloodline of Shem, bloodline of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna
bloodline of Isaac, the bloodline of Jacob.
You're not gonna be equal to them. Go ahead, read their fate.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
No, but they're going to be equal.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
They're going to cleave to the house of Jacob.
And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord.
Hold up. He said possess them. That's ownership. Go ahead.
And Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids.
For servants and handmaids.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from the sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
So after all this captivity that we've been through Rome, through Persia, through Assyria, through America, Babylon, man, through all this captivity, he's going to take us up out this sorrow, and all these other nations are going to be our servants and handmaids in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? I know you're thinking about, I know most of what y'all thinking about is like, oh, so when we go to heaven and we're in the sky, we're gonna be serving people. But that's the thing, the kingdom of heaven is not going to be in the sky. This is another lie that Pastor Porkchop been telling y'all. The kingdom of heaven is going to be established here on earth.
It says it right in the Lord's Prayer.
It says it.
Our Father who art in heaven, thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven.
Thy earth will be, it says, it on earth as it is in heaven. I'm saying even that prayer alone, it shows that the earth, the kingdom is going to be established on earth. Matter of fact, if you want, just get real quick before we get out of here. Go to Revelation 21, the first chapter. I mean the first verse. You know what I'm saying? So the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on earth. The same way we're living now is going to be the kingdom of heaven. The only difference is we're going to be in rulership.
We're the kingdom of heaven.
We're the kingdom of heaven. We're going to be the ones running everything. We're going to, all these other 8 nations, or all these other Gentiles, they're going to be the ones serving us. That's the kingdom of heaven. And this is not my words. This is not what this is nothing that I pulled out the scriptures. This is what the Most High is saying about the other nations. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read 21 real quick.
The book of Revelations, chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Hold that right there. So it says the first earth has been passed away. So that's what we're living in now, the first kingdom. This is the first kingdom that's going to be passed away. Go ahead, read.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice of the heavens saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I will make all things new.
So it's showing you right there that the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on earth. The Most High is going to come back. He's going to take us out of the captivity that we're in today, and then we're going to be back in rulership. We're going to be running this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? That's the kingdom of heaven.
And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful.
So these are the words that the Most High is speaking of. When we die, we're not going to go to we're not going to go in the sky and be angels and be flying around, and that's nonsense. That's what the pastors are teaching your people, man. That's crazy. The kingdom of heaven is going to be established here on earth. You know what I'm saying? You heard it from yourself. He said the kingdom came out of the sky and was placed here on earth, and Christ, Yahweh Shai, was going to be dealing with us, reigning with us in this for 1,000 years. The elect. So that's proven right there that Pastor Pork Chop telling you that the kingdom of heaven is the kingdom of heaven is going to be right here on earth, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you got something else. That's it. We're going to wrap it up. Thank y'all for listening today, man. I hope that was edifying. We give all glory to Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I hope that was edifying again. I hope y'all tune in next week.
Yeah, and thank y'all for tuning in. And if you want more information, you can check us out at Truth Beyond the Surface Temple. Rise of the Chosen, Truth Beyond the Surface Temple at Facebook.com. And with that, we'd like to say, Kum Yasharallah, Kum Yasharallah, Kum Yasharallah.
And we out of here, man. Again, all praise and glory
all
to
praise
Yahweh,
to the Most High.
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Mashiach. Y'all take it easy, man. Thank you for tuning in.